Hello and good evening. Gosh, it's a little bit warm today. I don't know whether you guys are going to be out in the garden enjoying the sunshine or whether you're going to be with me either now or later. But I wanted to talk today about gratitude. And I chose this one today for a few reasons. Firstly, because I like to consider myself a very grateful person, and I like to help my friends and my colleagues and my clients to also live in gratitude as well. And I had a little bit of a wobble yesterday, which a good friend and colleague helped me with, and it reminded me that over the past kind of few days, I feel like a few days or week or so, I felt like I'd kind of not lost my way with it, but being encouraged to really dig back into that and appreciate everything that we have, and get all of those ideas down on paper was just so helpful to me. So when I woke up this morning wondering about what I was going to be doing my live about, it kind of felt like a bit of a no-brainer for me. So thank you to you watching who really helped me with that. It has been really helpful, and now hopefully I'm going to be able to pass that on to anyone watching. So when we think about gratitude, it can mean different things to different people, and to me, living in gratitude means, you know, being aware of what we have rather than what we haven't. And I think that's kind of that's the nub of it for me, is that do you go through life thinking about everything that you want, everything that you haven't got, everything that you think you need, everything that you are striving for, or can you go through life being grateful for everything that you have, and feel rich and abundant regardless if you haven't got all of those boxes ticked for you right now? And that feels a little bit like we can think about that in terms that are familiar to people, in terms of whether or not you're an optimist or a pessimist. And that doesn't have to be necessarily like really down on life, but just being able to have gratitude in your life for what you have, and having an optimistic approach to your day and your week and your family and your home and your jobs and what have you, rather than coming from a place of either negativity or lacking, and always striving for more. So I've come up with a couple of points that I thought would be really helpful to kind of shine a light on why being grateful is so helpful and so healthy, and how we can kind of help you to shift that focus, like it has done for me, like it has done for many of my colleagues, and essentially for the clients that I work with as well. So if we think about just in general terms of energy and what it means to be to be grateful for everything that we have, and we think about what happens to our energy when we live in a place where we recognize that we have we have abundance, that we have so much greatness in our life, and what that actually does to our energy. And you can think about that in terms of, you know, if we are positive, and we are always concentrating, and we are always finding the positive in situations, and we are always looking for a positive, then the likelihood is that we are going to attract positivity to us. In a very similar way, if you are quite a negative person, or you're always looking at the downside of life, you're going to naturally kind of attract that kind of negativity to you. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a magnet and you're kind of drawing it to you, but I do liken it to you know, if your general disposition is positive, then people around you will be positive towards you. People around you will be like say, like, you know, like if you're going out and you're in a really good mood, or you're thinking about something to yourself and you're just really smiling and you're grinning, you'll notice that people around you are smiling and grinning at you too. They will pick up on your energy, and they will be drawn to that, and they will start mirroring it. If you are having a really bad day and you are feeling quite down or depressed or angry, or however it is you're feeling, then you end up bringing grumpiness into your life with other people as well. And people can, you know, people might be more frowny or more grumpy towards you, and be more rude towards you. I mean, even, as I say, even if it's in the high street or the supermarket, we kind of create this kind of synergy and this aura around ourselves that that people respond to, and that other people respond to. So if you are concentrating on good things, and you are able to, like, the expression is energy goes where your attention flows. So if you are able to have that positivity, have that gratitude, then you just end up inviting more of it into your life. So in any kind of situation, there is room for gratitude. You can find it anywhere, even in difficult situations. And this is how I know when people are generally positive people, or generally kind of have a great sense of gratitude in their life, and optimism in their life, is when even in a difficult situation, they'll find the positive outcome. So, you know, however serious or inconvenient that situation is, you know that person is going to find positive out of it. And even if they can't find the positive right now, then they will be open to understanding that there's a lesson to be learned there, or something good to come out of the situation later on. So that's just a really good kind of like intro, if you like, into how we can create abundance in our life by being grateful. I'm going to come on to that with goal setting in a little while, but just being really aware of your energy and being able to practice. And like I said right at the beginning, being able to like really write down and remind yourself of what you actually have to be thankful for can be a really good way of shifting that energy and shifting that mindset, so that you know that actually there is good in your life, and it's just about reminding yourself of that and keeping that going. The other part of being grateful is that you're just generally happier. When you are happy, you are, like I said, when you're walking down the high street and you're smiling, and you're you know, you're really just feeling the goodness that is around you, feeling happy. It just creates a real sense of it creates a real chain reaction. And I think generally, if you are able to go through life happy, and I mean, I'm not unrealistic, like I know everybody has bad days, and maybe have a bad few days, and that's like we're human, so we have ups and downs. It's not about being unrealistic about what's going on either in our lives or in you know the in the world, but it's just about, if you are able to really tap into that happiness, then when you're grateful for what you have, you can feel so privileged. Even if you haven't got a lot, you can just walk around just creating that flow around you, and understanding that, you know, either you have good things in your life now, and or there is more good to come. Some people can often say, well, you know, successful people or rich people, they can be grateful because they've got all of these good things in their life. They don't have to go through the difficulties that I'm going through. So it's easy to be grateful when you have everything that you want or need. But I don't really agree with that, to be honest with you. I mean, definitely there's a correlation, and definitely, obviously, if you are comfortable in your life, then you can be grateful, like, easily. But actually, having money doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be grateful for it. Like, having money doesn't actually bring you happiness. Having a nice house doesn't actually bring you happiness. So in a way, it's the gratitude that comes before the success or the money or the nice house or, you know, the nice holidays. Like, you can, you know, I know many women who can be sitting on a beach somewhere absolutely fantastic and feel absolutely miserable and empty. So it's once you're starting from a place of gratitude, and you're starting knowing that your heart is full, even if you want to say that your glass is half full, when you are grateful for what you have, you then attract the good things, you attract the abundance, you attract the positivity into your life. It's not being grateful doesn't necessarily mean that you have everything, and having everything doesn't necessarily mean that you are grateful. I liken this sometimes to having people who, like, win the lottery, and they can lose that money, or like big inheritance, they can lose that money, because if they don't come from a place of fulfillment and gratitude, then that money that they have suddenly got can just be absolutely flitted away. It has no real meaning to them, because it has no value, because they're not grateful for it. Does that make sense? I didn't actually say, comment below if you are doing monkey faces at me. If you either agree with what I'm saying, if you disagree with what I'm saying, absolutely put your comments below. I'd love to know what you're thinking about what I'm waffling on about today. Okay, so thinking about happiness, we can also think about fear, and this one kind of speaks to me a little bit, because I do this a lot with my clients that I work with, and I also recognize this in myself, to be honest with you. And that's why I was so grateful to my friend picking me up on it yesterday and catching me out, because when we are thinking about when we forget to be grateful, we can get into a cycle sometimes of fear, and that fear can take shape in however many different forms. It can be about it can be worrying about people, it can be worrying about lifestyle, it can be worrying about big decisions that we've got to make, it can be worrying about money. I mean, you know, this is one that applies to loads of people. So any of my friends or my colleagues, anybody watching this now or later, if you are self-employed, you know, coming into this lockdown, actually not even if you're just self-employed, if you are employed, like, coming into lockdown, how many people were worried about their job security? How many people were worried about getting furloughed, or actually just losing their job? Or for self-employed people, just worrying if the clients were going to be coming in and what was going to be happening. And that is real. Like, that is absolutely 100% real. But when you come from a place of gratitude, you know it's going to be okay. So this kind of like overlaps with faith a little bit. I'll come on to faith a little bit later. But when you know that you are grateful for everything that you have, you are able to have a better sense of feeling of control over the situation. So having fear, can I say, always comes from a lack of control. I'm not going to say always comes from a lack of control, because I'll think about it later and then I'll think, oh, that's silly to say that. But quite often, if not usually, fear comes from the unknown, not knowing what it's going to look like, not knowing what the future is going to look like, and crucially, I think, not feeling like you have any sense of control over that. When you are able to come from a place of gratitude, you kind of, you know it's going to be okay. So it comes back to what I was saying earlier about, you know, are you the kind of person that looks for the positivity in everything, even if it's a difficult situation, or a really difficult situation, you will find the positivity because you understand that there is lessons to be learned, and then we can be grateful for the lessons that we've learned, even if that's been in adversity. So having fear about a situation is absolutely real. Like, there's no I'd never want to say to somebody, well, your fear is either unjustified or wrong, because I don't believe that, because I don't believe any emotions are fundamentally wrong. But what I can say is that we can turn that fear, and we can turn that fear into confidence that even if we don't know what's going to happen, and even if we don't know where we're going to end up, that it will be okay. And when we live with gratitude in our life, we can know that it's going to be okay, even if it feels scary. I mean, I don't want to kind of like labour the point about, you know, jobs and money, and I really understand that there have been some really difficult times for people especially over the past 3 months, and I don't belittle that or undermine that in any way at all. But I just think, really, if we are able to understand the goodness that can come out of certain situations, and to understand that we all have the opportunity to see the light, if you like, even in the darkness, then that whole element of fear kind of goes away, and we can control it. We can control our outcome, because ultimately that's it, isn't it? Like, we the only people that have control over how we perceive a situation and how we live our lives is us. Like, we can't, I mean, even probably going out on a limb here, but even like prisoners, I used to be a counsellor in a prison, so I'm going somewhere with this. Even prisoners can have gratitude for their situation. I've worked with lots of women in prison who really were grateful to have been put inside in order to break the cycle that they were in, to be able to put an end to either the drug abuse or the physical abuse, or the whatever situation that they were in, they were able to, the prison actually put an end to it. Now, okay, fine, I appreciate that not all prisoners are going to be thinking like that, and I dare say there are loads of people in lots of different situations that actually just really won't want to be able to see it in a positive light like that. But it is interesting how you can work with some people, or you can know some people, and they will always be able to be able to have that sense of gratefulness for whatever the lessons that are being learned at the moment. And, you know, when we think about faith, it doesn't really matter who your God is. It doesn't matter whether you believe in a God, or whether you believe in the universe, or whether you believe in a source being, or whether you believe in absolutely nothing at all. But we can still be thankful for everything that we have. And if we do have faith in God, or the universe, or the stars, or whatever heavenly being you want to call it, then we in a way we can't be fearful. It's like you can't live in gratitude and in fear at the same time. The two absolutely just don't go together. And when you have a faith in something, whoever or whatever that is, then you also know that whatever is going on for you at the moment, there is a story, that there is an ending, there is a purpose to whatever is going on. So you have to kind of sit with that, if you like, even if it's uncomfortable. Even, like I said, it was uncomfortable for me over the past few days, to be reminded that I have so much to be grateful for, was such a fabulous reminder for me. Because, you know, people can talk about, we can all talk about, I talk about what I want to achieve. You know, what are my goals? Where do I want to be in a year's time? What do I want my life to look like? What do I want my children's life to look like? like all of these things that are that feel like they're so important to me, but actually I have absolutely everything that I need right now. Like, I have absolutely everything. If I were to draw out on a piece of paper and say that I want, you know, what do I want? I want to be happy. I want to have a lovely home. I want to have a job that I love. I want to have good friends. I want to have, you know, enough money to pay my bills and my mortgage every month, and to go on holiday, and to take my children to the park and eat ice cream. Like all of these things that are, you know, so easy to be spending our life wishing for, when actually most people have this. Like, I'm not saying it's always easy, but like if we have, you know, children that we love, we have family, we have friends, we have a home, we have security. Like, I know some people don't have that. Like, I'm not ignorant to the fact that some people don't have that, but we can remind ourselves that actually whatever it is we're searching for in life, we probably have already. We just might not have it in the amount that we want it, or we might want it to just be a little bit easier. But actually, you know, I have everything that I need right now. I haven't got stacks of money in the bank, but I am rich in love. My children, you know, are my world. I have a lovely husband who I adore. I have amazing friends who I adore. I have a great family. You know, I have absolutely everything that I need. So to come from a place of lacking just doesn't make sense. Nicola, what are you saying here? Nicola says, how can we be happy without being grateful? The more grateful you are, the more happy you are. It's an attitude. That's it. Absolutely. It's all about the attitude. It's all about the mindset. Happy is gratitude, right? Whatever it is we are happy about, we are grateful for, and whatever it is we are grateful for, we're happy about. So the two absolutely go hand in hand. Thank you for that. So when we think about, you know, achieving goals and what we want to get out of life, and what we need to make ourselves feel more either fulfilled or more abundant, I think if we can start from a place of gratitude, it makes it so much easier. Like, I'm not saying like don't have goals. Like I have goals. Like, absolutely. I still strive for more. I strive for more for myself, and I strive for more for my family. But I think for me, once you come from a place of gratitude and you are grateful and thankful for what you have, it makes going after those goals even easier. It makes them more achievable. It doesn't mean that they're going to be achievable overnight, but I think it means that if you're coming from a place where you are down on life, or your glass is half empty, and you're not really seeing the positivity in anything, then it's really difficult to kind of go after those goals. Because going after goals and going after dreams and aspirations and whatever you want to call it, is very, very, very difficult to do if you're coming from a place of lacking. So if you're feeling like nothing ever good comes your way, life's not fair, everybody else has it easy, you've got nothing really to be grateful for at the moment, or like everything that you are grateful for has just been really, really, really hard work, then it kind of makes sense that going after your goals and dreams is going to be really difficult. Like, even just saying those words feels a bit like kind of walking through treacle. Whereas if you're able to really recognize all of the value that you have in your life and all of the good things that you have in your life, and then all you're doing is just improving on that, it makes it so much easier, because you're coming from such a good starting point that all you're doing is just building on it. And when you're happy, and you're grateful and you're feeling abundant, it just comes your way. Like it grows, it manifests out of your positivity. And so, you know, if your glass is half empty and there's not much goodness around you, I just reckon the chances are you're going to either be stuck there, or you're going to find it, you might achieve it, but like I said about the lottery winning earlier, if you're going to find it really difficult to either keep hold of or you'll sabotage it, because it's about understanding that when we have that high energy about us and we are grateful for it, good things come our way. Like if you don't remember anything else from this, just remember your energy goes where your attention flows. Is that right? Is that right, Nicola? Energy goes where your attention flows. Yeah, that's right. So if we concentrate on the goodness, we concentrate on the value, we concentrate on all the wonderful things in our life, lo and behold, that is what we bring into our lives. If we concentrate on the down stuff, like, you know what I was saying earlier about when you smile at people down the high street, or if you're just really happy, people smile back and people are really nice to you. The lady at the checkout counter or whatever it is, people are just really nice to you. What about the people? And I'm sure we all know one person that's like this, who is always so low in energy, who is always so negative, that you just kind of like, oh gosh, you just feel like the life is being sucked out of you when you're talking to them. And they create the drama in their lives. Like there's always something going on. There's always a story. There's always so much negativity. And I'm going to be honest, I've over the years, I've had 2 or 3 people in my life that I've just had to cut out of my life. And it's horrible to say it, but you just think, gosh, I just can't deal with this kind of like drama in my life anymore. I can't deal with the negativity in my life anymore. And so in order to protect myself, I just need to remove myself from these people. And it is horrible. But it's kind of like self-preservation in a way. And it's true. You don't, and there's the other part of that as well. Gosh, I'm going to start going off on a tangent now, but there's the other part as well, which is like, we are the sum of the people that we hang around with. We are the sum. They say we're the sum of the 5 people that we hang around with. I mean, don't get hung up on the numbers there, but the fact of the matter is that if you are surrounded by people who are positive, who are go-getters, who are abundant, who are grateful, who are whatever, then you reflect off each other. So once you start absorbing that kind of energy, then you become all of those things. You become successful, you become abundant, you become grateful, you become happy. That's exactly how it goes. If you are hanging around with people, and I don't mean like necessarily like one group of people that you hang around with. I mean, I'm talking about people who you work with is always a really interesting one, because whether or not you like the people that you work with or not, you're with them. If you're employed and you're in an office, you're with them for like 8 or 9 hours a day. Friends that drag you down, family members that drag you down, people that you don't necessarily have a great connection to, but you are regularly around. These are all the people that influence our being. They influence our soul. They influence our creativity. They influence who we are as people. So, I love to say to people, like, who are the 5 people that you hang around with the most? Do they bring joy? Do they bring joy into your life? Or do they bring drama? Because if you've got people in your life that are bringing drama, it's a cloud. It's a cloud over your head. And I encourage everybody to be around people that make their heart sing as much as possible. Like, it can't always be like that. I completely understand that, but choose your friends wisely, because they are the ones that are going to influence you the most. Okay, what else have I missed out? I think I've probably covered it, actually. Have I missed anything out? You can drop your comments in below if you think I have. And I suppose the just to kind of like finish off with it, it's not about being happy clappy. It's not about going through life like just with pink sunglasses on and unaware of what's going on. It's not about lying to yourself about what's going on in the world or what's going on in your reality. But it's just about being able to see the positive and being able to wake up every day and know that well, this is the nub of it, isn't it? That you are in control of your destiny. Like, you are in control. You are the only person, actually, who you have control over, who you have full control over. And if great things are happening in your life, then make sure that you are thankful for them. And if you have negativity in your life, then okay, fine. It's negative. It's not great. It will pass. It's not going to last forever. And it's up to you to be able to see that opportunity as for what it is, and what you can learn from it, and what you can understand from it. And maybe even who you can help with that level of understanding. So, you know, we've all had difficult situations. We've all had bad things happen to us at time. And that's absolutely, there's nothing that we can do about that. But we can help ourselves with that learning, and we can help other people who are going through something else similar with that learning. And therein lies the gratitude for life. So a little task for you to do, if you want to do it, it's your reaction to what's happening that counts. Absolutely. It's always your reaction to what's happening that counts. And it's how you react, it's how you respond to the situation or to people. And it's also about how other people see you respond to, and what other people can learn from you. So you can be a light to other people. You can be a shining example to other people, even in adversity. So one little thing that you might want to do is grab yourself pen and paper and sit down somewhere quiet. You might want to do this now. You might want to do this when the kids have gone to bed. Sit down and just write out everything in your life that you can be grateful for now. Most obviously, that will be the things that you are happy about. But maybe you might want to take it one step further and think about the lessons that have been really difficult for you, but good things have come out of them too. As I said, you know, we can all want more. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting more. I encourage all of my clients to do goal setting. I goal set. It's not about having to be, it's not about saying that if you want more, then you're somehow ungrateful. But it is about being able to understand that you already have a lot to be grateful for. So pen and paper at the ready. Write down everything that you are thankful for, everything that you can be grateful for and give thanks for, and then put it somewhere where you can see it regularly, so that if there's ever a day when you're feeling lacking, or you're feeling down or worrying about something, you can just remind yourself that you've probably got everything that you need at the moment. You just need a bit of reminding. Okay, all right. I'll be back on Saturday morning, I think. So I've had a couple more ideas messaged to me. If you want me to talk about anything, please do post away. Thank you for all your hearts and kisses and likes, and I will catch up with you guys soon. Okay, thank you.